access to capital seems to be the key, right? Like we have everything else: ideas, muscle, discipline, greed, but access to capital seems to be the roadblock. Capital is the enabler of good ideas. And my question to you on that is, how do you see that movement of capital from the people who have it to an investment in what you described would be probably the most fertile area for the next 50 years? How that would happen? Is that going to be through advocacy at the political level, or it has to be because CEO realized this is a great opportunity, let's invest? Or how do you see that being facilitated by people like you or people who are listening to you?
Well, first of all, I like to think about deals. If you've ever done business deals, right? The question is how do deals get done? I'm going to answer your question with a bit of it's almost like a parable. And that is that how do deals get done? Is it a deal gets done that you wanted to get done because you were invited to somebody else's table, or because you invited people to your table to lay out the benefits of whatever it is that you thought you wanted to do? And I'm a guy that, because I've done deals all over the world and all that sort of thing, my answer has always been, I like to take control. Because those who set the agenda are the ones that essentially create the agenda, and things happen the way that they generally like them to happen. But the problem that the Latino cohort has had is that we don't have our own table. We have our own Latino events, but we don't have our own mainstream events. So the question was, so how do we solve that? And that's where we started this event. Gary Acosta and I started this event called Latitude, where it was about the direction, latitude, longitude, but spelled with a distinct flavor about Latinos, right? Capital L apostrophe, capital ATTITUDE. And my wife always corrects me and she says, that's not how you spell latitude, right? But I say, I understand, but I'm not being technically correct. I'm being effectively correct. And so this is about getting people to an event that we put on featuring the Latino cohort about GDP, about entrepreneurship, about technology, about the media, and about entertainment, so that people have the full view of Latinos, where we're playing everywhere, right? There's not a domain that we're not playing in, but most people don't know that, including Latinos, right? When you mention the word technology, does the Latino idea come directly right away? The answer is probably not for most people. When you mention the financial markets and capital and all that and that sort of thing, when you say that, do you Latinos come to mind immediately? The answer is not even for Latinos. When you talk about entertainment, if you talk about music now, we can always say, guess who the meros are, right? It's right. The Latinos, right? But not in film and TV. Because if somebody says film and TV, I'd say, okay, name one A-list actress, one, or actor, Latino, A-list, that's making $20 million a film and TV show, whatever. Right. And there are none, zero. And that's because we don't become lead actors and actresses. We get to be part of an ensemble. We get to be the Maria the maid or nanny, or Pablo the jardinero, or whatever, right? And we have to change that because we're players everywhere. We have talent everywhere. So we have to invite everybody over to our house and slay the table, set the table for the conversation. So guess what happened at Latitude this year? I invited a guy by the name of Larry Fink. Who's Larry Fink? He manages more assets and allocates more assets than anybody in the world. $7 trillion, soon to probably be 10 trillion, right? Brian Moynihan from Bank of America and Michael Corbat from Citigroup. And so we had all the big players financially. Then what about on the business side? You got to get the CEOs, because the one thing I do know for sure is that the vast majority of net sales growth for Walmart, for Target, for Nike, for you name the B2C company,
right?
It's Latinos and Latinas at the centerpiece. But guess what? We don't know that as Latinos because we don't go get the data, because that's not our orientation. We like to talk about politics. And we like to say in 2050, we're going to be 100 million people and we're going to be powerful. And how do most people look at that? Let's see, 2050, I'm not going to be around, so I don't give a shit. Right? I don't care. And so we like to talk about politics, and then we always find out everybody ignores the political side because that's too far away, and you have to show materiality now. So what is the most material, tangible thing for business people? It's, can I get a buck from you? Can I make a margin dollar from you? Can I get growth rate from you? Can I get all that? And the answer to that is, I know, is yes. So that's why now the GDP report is one of the most quoted reports in America. The Latino Donor Collaborative US Latino GDP report is now one of the most quoted reports in America.